Go.
Hello, my name is Brian Sikanchana, founder and CEO of WorkReadyGrad, and with me, my cameraman is also my Chief Operating Officer, Doug Rhodes. I'm happy to present WorkReadyGrad as a tool that is directly addressing high school and college graduation rates in Atlanta. From over 100 discovery interviews with local educators, we've been told that the top two reasons why students are dropping out in their experience has been number one, when students have difficulty connecting the relevance of what they're learning in the classroom to a longer term career application, and number two, they drop out when they don't have a strong support system. Maybe it's missing at home, they're in the wrong peer group, or just no mentor is pushing them. What we have developed through WorkReadyGrad is a tool that directly addresses the top two issues that were identified by our local educators. What we do is we use the tool to make it easier for students to be able to identify companies in an industry interest of theirs, or even specific companies, where they can read about how companies describe not only their current hiring needs, but how they define ideal talent for their hiring looking 2 to 5 years out. In these ideal candidate descriptions, employers are talking about required and preferred skills and experiences for how they define this ideal talent. So this is a way for industry to directly engage the local talent pipeline to encourage students to develop skill sets that are relevant to their organization. The next piece is that we are collecting alumni success stories in our database. And within these success stories, all the alumni, regardless of their job or their industry, their title, all of them are being asked to answer the exact same 3 questions. The first question talks about what are you actually doing day to day in your career, because the alumni may be exposing students to careers they hadn't considered, or their preconception can be quite different than the day-to-day reality. They're answering what process they went through, and which local resources helped them to be successful, and they're talking about what they wish they had known when they were a student. These success stories are not only highly inspirational, but they're highly practical, because the alumni are identifying local resources that current students can also engage, whether it was local internships they had, leadership roles in student organizations, or where they had teachers that specifically impacted their trajectory. Where this gets exciting for students is that we then provide them with a gamified digital resume to track their holistic development. We're trying to help them to think about success not only by high GPA, but to think about it in a more holistic way in terms of the amount of exposure they're having to, say, for example, applied learning opportunities and internships, or again, leadership roles inside or outside of the school, or even to think about where they're demonstrating grit, where they're where they've come across obstacles, but they've been able to overcome. The bar graph is just a simple summary of all the content in the body of the resume, where they can include pictures and video, highlighting their transferable skills, and helping them to get the interest of local colleges and industry. And it's a way for them to think through what they've already accomplished and set goals for where they're headed. Where this is really interesting to educators, workforce development, and to nonprofits is the ability to generate longitudinal data reports to show of the students impacted from a certain year, or from or among all the alumni, where did they end up after a certain program? How many have gone on into post-secondary education, or are working, or some combination? Which industries did they go into? Their highest level of education, skill sets they've self-described on their digital resumes. And in short, what we're doing is helping to inspire students to know what's out there, helping them to identify in a visual way where are they now in terms of their skills and abilities, and where are the resources to fill these gaps and accelerate their preparation. We'll be implementing this tool by integrating our tool into the curriculum with Army JRTC cadets and CTE classrooms around Atlanta.